Hello, my name is Sandra and welcome back to my channel. So today, as you can tell from the title, we're filming my July TBR. It's a big one, but I've been reflecting, considering the last 2 months I've been reading 9 to 10 books a month and I've been starting books in between. I think I'm able to read these books and maybe more, but we'll see, because right now I'm currently vlogging, filming more videos, and I'm also joining Camp NaNoWriMo, so I'm trying to write my novel. Really, honestly, if I could write my novel in like less than a month / a month, I will be so happy, because I'm just sick and tired of talking about the French Riviera novel and not having it written. I think I'm on a great path right now, but I'm not going to bore you with the writing stuff in this video, because we're going to go through all of these books. I think I have 12 books that I want to read. I think I'm in the middle of 3 of them, so I should be able to accomplish this goal this month. So let's just get right into the books. The first book is Ghostwritten by David Mitchell. I have about like 200 pages left, so I'm over halfway through. I'm gonna be honest, this book is so dry and long, and I literally lose my train of thoughts on every page, and that's why it's taking me forever. I believe I started this either at the beginning of the year or the end of last year. So you guys have seen it on multiple vlogs, and it's just so embarrassing at this point, because why am I not done? And plus, on top of that, when I was working, I had this book in my purse or in my bag literally every single day, so I would read a page or a few pages. But I'm just ready to get over this, and it just sucks because this is so similar in some ways to one of the novels that I've written, that I thought it would inspire me and push me to write it. But in some way it does inspire me to go back and finish that novel, because I know my novel is not that bad anymore. I'm so sorry. I know David Mitchell is like a really popular, famous author, but this book by him is just not it. Like, I'll come across like a passage that I really fucking love, and then I'll be like, wait, what's going on again? And just being so bored out of my mind. So if you read any David Mitchell, please let me know that it gets better. Please let me know that this is just a one-off, because I have 2 or 3 of his other novels on my shelf. The next book is The Art Thief by Noam Chomsky. Not to be confused with the Art Thief book that I read last year. That one was non-fiction, about like this guy Michael Breitweiser, who stole like about like $2 billion worth of paintings and art pieces in Europe through like a series of 10 years time. But this one is fiction, and this is fiction that is written by an art historian, I believe, or a art history professor. And so it's kind of like self-explanatory, honestly. I'm not gonna get into this because I'm probably gonna talk about this very soon on my channel, so just know that it's set in Europe, lots of art thievery going on, and yeah, this is just one of the books that I've been wanting to pick up for my art crime series. Then we got Sirens and Muses by Antonia Engres, and I am about 50 pages in. I am really loving this. Like, it's very academic, but it's also an academia following painters. So it reminds me of a book that I just read. It's Anita de Monte Laughs Last. I just read that one. I have not spoken about that book on the channel. It will be coming up on a June wrap up. I love that book, and then I went right away on Google, any book similar to that one, and this one came up, and I was like, wow, I have this on my shelf. I thought this was a dark academia book. I didn't think this was like a book following different painters and, you know, their relation to one another and their relation to art. So really loving this one so far. And the reason why I picked up this one is because it's similar to Writers and Lovers and The Goldfinch. I have not read The Goldfinch, but Donna Tartt is one of my favorite authors, and so is Lily King, who wrote Writers and Lovers. So I think I need to film a video of all my favorite books, because I feel like I don't talk about them enough on this channel. Another interesting thing about this book is that it's set in 2011 during the Occupy Wall Street in America, basically during the recession. So highly recommend reading this one if you like art, if you like what it's like to be a privileged artist versus a non-privileged artist, etc. This is a good one for you. The next book that I'm planning to read is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn and Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've been reading Taylor Jenkins for years and years, like before she even popped off and became famous. But somehow this book, this one, I have been holding off every single year. And I know Pride Month just passed, but I feel like I'm ready to read this. I got my audiobook loan in as well, so I feel like if I'm not gonna read it this summer, I'm never gonna read this book. So that's why I got this one, and this is gonna be a nice break from art crime academia books. And from what I remember, this is also like set in Hollywood. This is more like interview style again. So I'm gonna read the back cover, but I'm pretty sure that everyone has heard of this book, but I'm still gonna read it for you. Reclusive Hollywood icon Evelyn Hugo is finally ready to tell the truth about her glamorous and scandalous life. But when she chooses unknown magazine reporter Monique Grant to write her story, no one is more astounded than Monique herself. Determined to use this opportunity to jumpstart her career, Monique listens in fascination. From making her way to Los Angeles in the 1950s to leaving show business in the 80s, and of course, the 7 husbands along the way, Evelyn unspools a tale of rootless ambition, unexpected friendship, and a great forbidden love. But as Evelyn's story nears its conclusion, it becomes clear that her life intersects with Monique's own in tragic and irreversible ways. And yeah, this just sounds like something I would definitely love. I'm just too scared to pick it up, so maybe I will film a reading vlog of my thoughts and impressions as I read along. Okay, so from what I see here, we have books that are both nonfiction and fiction about art and artists, so let's just get into them. First, we have The Art of the Heist by Miles J. Connor, and I picked this up last year after watching the documentary This Is a Robbery, because if you don't know about this, Miles Connor is the one that had stolen a Rembrandt and then hid it, and then when he was doing jail time for other crimes such as armed robbery and whatnot, he negotiated his way out with that Rembrandt, which is so crazy. And this is what people think has sparked the interest to the Isabel Gardner Museum back in the 1990s, when they stole like 8 or 9 very high-end pieces and it was never recovered again. So that's how he comes into that story as well, and about the Boston gang members and whatnot. So super interesting. I really just want to read from his perspective, because I read Master Thieves this year and I really didn't like it. I preferred the documentary. So this is the last one I have in that Isabel Gardner Museum art crime scene. I have this book on Picasso because I've read another book about Picasso and Matisse and whatnot, and now I have this one, which is Life with Picasso, Françoise Gillot and Carlton Lake, and again it's an NYRB collection. I love this. And yeah, so this is just like an outside view but an inside look at Picasso. It says here, Françoise Gillot was in her early 20s when in 1943 she met the 61-year-old Pablo Picasso. Brought up in the upper middle class comfort and educated at Cambridge and the Sorbonne, in the hopes that she would go into the law, the young woman defied her family's wishes and her father's fury and set out to become an artist. Her introduction to Picasso led to a friendship, a love affair, and a relationship of 10 years, during which Gillot bore 2 children, Paloma and Claude. Gillot was one of Picasso's muses. She was also very much her own woman, determined to make herself into the remarkable painter she did indeed become. I love this because I don't know much about women painters, so I will definitely be reading this and, you know, googling and searching up Gillot's paintings as well. So very excited to read this one and get this perspective. Then I want to read Just Kids by Patti Smith. I have to do it. It's time. I'm ready. This is not about art crime or anything, but this is about like the starving artist and basically Patti Smith's journey in New York City as she was, you know, broke and trying to pursue her career. Obviously, I actually saw Patti Smith perform live. Oh, I'm getting chills. Perform live in Toronto last year when she was opening for the National. First of all, the National, my favorite band. Second of all, the day of is when I discovered Patti Smith is opening. And I fucking lost my shit. I'm not kidding. Like, she is so magnetic. I can't believe I got to see her live. And so yeah, I just really need to read this one. I feel like I'm doing a disservice to myself as an artist to not have read this one yet. I also follow her Substack. I've been so obsessed with Substack since deleting social media for the next 2 months. I have nothing else to do but write and read and formulate thoughts. So I'm on Substack. I'm going to be releasing my Substack hopefully pretty soon in the next coming weeks. I definitely go and read her Substack. She normally posts clips and stuff, and she's just such an interesting, entertaining woman. She's a force, and I really can't wait to read this. So yeah, if you like autobiography, if you like artists, you like New York City, this is the book to pick up, and I can't wait to read this month. So the next book is Second Place by Rachel Cusk. I've never read anything by Cusk before, but I know she's great at biography and writing, and I want to start with this one because first of all, it's so short. I love the cover, but this one has to do with art. So let me read you the little blurb here. A woman invites a famous artist to use her guest house in the remote coastal landscape where she lives with her family. Powerfully drawn to his paintings, she believes his vision might penetrate the mystery at the center of her life. But as a long, dry summer sets in, his provocative presence itself becomes an enigma and disrupts the calm of her secluded household. Second Place, Rachel Cusk's electrifying new novel, is a study of female fate and male privilege, the geometries of human relationships, and the moral questions that animate our lives. It reminds us of art's capacity to uplift and to destroy. Does that not sound interesting and fascinating and amazing? I can't wait to read this. It's going to be my first Rachel Cusk book, as I said, and maybe I will pick up all of her other books because I may or may not have them on my shelf. Then we got this book by Ali Smith. Again, I have never picked up a book by Ali Smith, and I'm really excited to start with this one. It's called How to Be Both. There's a indigo price tag here that I'm trying to remove. It's not coming off. Look at the back. Amazing, beautiful, stunning. Again, this is another book about art and artists and painting. So let me read you the blurb. How to Be Both is a novel all about art's versatility. Borrowing from painting's fresco technique to make an original literary double take, it's a fast-moving, genre-bending conversation between forms, times, truths, and fictions. There's a Renaissance artist of the 1460s, there's the child of the 1960s, two tales of love and injustice twist into a singular yarn where time gets timeless, structural gets playful, knowing gets mysterious, fictional gets real, and all life's givens get given a second chance. Okay, talk about cryptic. I have no idea what to expect, but I do know that this is gonna be a good time. Then I got something light to read because I love reading Emily Henry in the summertime, so I'm gonna read this one this year. It's Happy Place by Emily Henry, and I think this one has a big focus on friendship and friend group. It says here, Harriet and Wynne have been the perfect couple since they met in college. They go together like salt and pepper, honey and tea, lobster and rolls. Except now, for reasons they're still not discussing, they don't. They broke up 5 months ago and still haven't told their best friends, which is how they find themselves sharing a bedroom at the main cottage that has been their friend group's yearly getaway for the last decade. Their annual respite from the world, where for one vibrant, blissful week, they leave behind their daily lives, have copious amounts of cheese, wine, and seafood, and soak up the salty coastal air with the people who understands them the most. That sounds really, really good. I feel like this book is gonna make me sad because my whole life all I wanted was like a friend group of writers and artists where we would get together all the time. Honestly, I do have 2 to 3 good friends, but they're dispersed, some of them like internationally, and it's just hard to get together with people, and I would love to create a group, and I'm trying to put myself out there. I don't live in Toronto, but I live near Toronto, kind of, so I'm going to start joining groups as the months go on because I really want to make friends with people that sorry, that was my cat. I really want to make friends with people that love writing and video making and art and books. So that's my goal for the upcoming months. Let's go through the last 2 books. One of them again is another book on art, crime, art history. It's Hitler's Art Thief, and it says here, Hildebrand Godlet, The Nazis and the Lootings of Europe's Treasure by Suzanne Ronald. and this is pretty self-explanatory. So I just want to read this one because it's part of, like I said, the art crime diaspora that I was talking about. My camera is flashing at me, so I'm just gonna quickly wrap this up. A book on craft and writing that I've been reading for the last 2 years. I'm halfway through. I just want to finish it. It's called The Writer's Journey: Mythic Structure for Writers by Christopher Vlogler. And once I finish this book, I'm probably gonna make a video, a response about this book, and post it on my writing channel. I'm gonna revive that channel again because it's gonna be too much to put everything on this channel. So I'm gonna be, you know, announcing things as they come along. The Substack, the writing channel, I'm gonna try to go step by step. I'm not gonna overwhelm myself all in this month because this month I just want to do a lot of reading.